Hini lento. Wala no they finish SNM clan. These are soft, these are happy. Based on Polo. Anyways, I beg Jesus, he plenty. Get it.
Let's talk BB Ninja. Let's talk BB Titans. Let's talk BB Ninja. Let's talk BB Titans. Shaka my ring, don't come with the latest. Shaka my ring, don't come with the gist. BB Ninja, BB Ninja. Let's talk BB Ninja.
Like, share, and subscribe. Yebo!
What's good, SNM clan?
It's your girl Marie.
It's a boy Shaq Ace. I'm back on the brand spanking new video. We guys into the GSM clan. Before we do, please subscribe
and tap on the like button, SNM clan. Please tap on the like button. If you're not SNM clan member, always remember tap on the like button. You're the realest and does on what? Period. And if you're also the SNM clan member, always forget to tap on the like button. Please remember to do right now. Tap on the like button. Thank you.
All right, shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much. Now let's begin. Starting off with Nsuku. I mean, she's still like you, on the chopping block, still on her own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You understand, right? I mean, that is her speaking her own stuff, right? Concerning the whole Uyanda, P, and I mean her, still giving her full support, for Uyanda, just to make sure that, indeed, he's like, the king of Umlilo.
Yeah.
He's Umlilo himself, you understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, in my opinion, I said the same thing as well, right? When it comes to Umlilo, you understand, right? Yeah, there is Swiss, there's Uyanda, there's Nsuku. I mean, there's Nate, but people they found this, they are still finding this offensive from Nsuku because they know that, when she says this, she's trying to press this guy's neck. Who, again? Sweet Guluva, you understand, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, on almost everything about what she was saying was more of attributing it to Uyanda having more personality, more of what we saw from him, you understand, right? And for Sweet Guluva, he didn't really have...
She didn't see much.
Understand, right?
Which
Good.
I feel...
Like I said, that was our own opinion, right?
That's our opinion.
Now, the only thing I only found fault with her was when she now stated that, I don't want to... that Uyanda is not the person that was caged. Now linked it to the guy, that's Sweet Guluva being caged by this girl, Ashley, understand, right? That's the only thing I didn't agree with, right?
Yeah.
But you're going to hear for yourself, SNM clan, about what she said about this whole, Uyanda stuff, and I mean, I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. Hear for yourself, please, all right.
Big brother thing, game, right? It's about character, it's about personality, it's about self-discovery. When I speak about character and personality, if Obafana is part of the housemates, I must know how Obafana behaves when he's happy. I must know how Obafana behaves when he's angry.
Okay.
I must know how Obafana behaves if he feels pressurized.
Really?
I must be aware, or I must know how Obafana handles just about everything, and you must understand that when you're in the house, you don't get to experience everyone in that sense. And because I was close with Uyanda, I got to understand who Uyanda is. I got to understand what his views is. I got to understand how Uyanda behaves when he's angry, how he behaves when he's happy, how he behaves when he wants to gossip, how he behaves when he feels pressurized. And I got to understand that about him. And I felt like with every aspect that I've mentioned, Uyanda is the Umlilo, because we must not shy away from the fact that there's a theme for years, and it does not take away.
SNM clan. I mean, thinking about what she's saying, she makes a whole lot of sense in her own right. You understand, right? I mean, for her talking about, come on. For her, she just simply say, people that actually wear their emotions on their sleeves, right? So like Uyanda, yeah, he does. So like Nsuku, yeah, she does. Someone like Swiss, yeah, he does. Someone like Ashley, yeah, she does. Someone like Bonnie B, yeah, she does. There are people there that, they didn't really give an F on how, people actually, perceive them or saw them. But whenever they behaved, it was more of like, this is how they behave without cameras being on them. So for her now, she's still stating this in the long run that this guy is actually a pretender. Sweet Guluva.
My own is
that he pretends.
What is the context, first of all?
Closeness.
Is it that we are talking about the fact that
Yeah.
the person that was supposed to win the show is
Yeah.
supposed to be king of Umlilo? Or are we talking about the person that gave the show based on the theme of the show? I don't know which is
theme
which.
of the show.
But I'm just saying that
Yeah.
what she said there is very contradictory to
Yeah.
me. Because
That's
if you are
to her?
talking, yes,
Okay.
if you are talking about the fact that as a housemate, you're
Yeah.
supposed to know different sides to each person in the house.
Mhm. That's
right?
not possible. Yeah.
That's what she said
Yeah,
here.
mhm.
That you're supposed to know how they behave when they're angry. You're
Yeah.
supposed to know how they take pressure and other things.
Mhm.
Understandable. But for her to now still say
Mm.
that she was close
Mm.
to
So
Uyanda
Uyanda.
to be able to experience that.
Mm.
What do you say about that?
I mean, that's...
like, what do you say about that? For if you said in the beginning that,
Yeah.
for someone to be this, we have to know all of that.
Yeah.
And if you're not close to Uyanda, how
Mm.
are you sure that you'll be able to experience Uyanda that much?
Yeah.
So it's because she was privileged, or how do I put it?
That's why
she was close to him. That was why she was able to. But for her to now use the same judgment on other people didn't make sense to me.
That's why I said at the end of the day, this was based on
Right.
closness for her, right?
Exactly.
But there are people that she wasn't still close to, that she still saw fire from them still,
Mhm.
in how they were feeling. For
Mhm.
example, she wasn't really close to Ashley, but she experienced how Ashley was in the house.
But I'm talking
She wasn't
about
close
based on
to-
her explanation. She
I
didn't
don't get-
explain it that way,
No,
so I will not understand
let
it
me
that
explain
way.
what Nsuku is trying to say.
No, you can't. Don't explain to me because I already understood what she
Aha.
said. I understood
What
so
she's
that's not what she
saying-
meant. That's what
Listen.
I'm saying.
In my opinion, right, what she is saying is people in the house, according to how she sees certain people, they were being real according to how they wanted to be real. You understand, right? According to her now, she is saying, which is quite laughable, right? If I'm with this person or that person, I will need to see you when you're angry, how you are. I want to see you when you're happy, how you are. I want to see basically everything about you, right? For Nsuku now, she might actually come out and say, yes, I showed one or two things about me. I wasn't the kind of person that was laying low or pretending stuff like that, right? But at the same time, there's still people out there that don't necessarily need to actually show certain stuff about themselves. It doesn't mean they are not real. You understand, right?
Mhm.
For Sweet Guluva, for example, now, it's quite dicey because at the same time, no one could actually know when it was actually hurt about something. For example, if Ashley spoke about how Sipali or whatever were trying to check her, that must have gotten to the guy, but we'll just put it on the code because he doesn't want to show certain stuff, right? So certain things about people, about how they truly behave in the way actually plays in the long run. There's lots of people that actually on the Big Brother community that actually showed themselves for who they are. At the end of the day, it still worked for them.
You know that
Bella was
particular-
there, Fina was there, Shegs was there,
Mhm.
Rachel. I mean, lots of them. You understand, right? Lots and lots. Erica, I mean, come on, you understand, right? But that Beauty, but at the same time, they showed their vulnerable side.
Mhm.
They understood what it meant to actually be real with themselves, not just pretend on Lilo because you're on national TV and try to put out a side of person. You're not at the end of the day, right? Ozzy did that. Ozzy did that from the very beginning, pretending. But what happened when Ruthie came? You saw how things were, you understand, right? So at the end of the day, people still boil down to how they actually control their emotions. But even if people don't come out and put their emotions on their sleeves or whatever, it doesn't mean they're not real. But she's saying in a way that Sweet Guluva, ain't real.
Do you remember the day he had that issue with Nchini?
Yeah.
Did you see what happened that day?
Yeah.
He was right under the duvet.
Yeah.
He was hyperventilating, he had anxiety attack.
That's
That night.
That's was it
Sweet
Uyanda?
Guluva
Yeah.
now.
Mhm, yeah.
Throughout the night, people were the internet, people were literally scared about the whole thing because Baba was so mad.
Yeah.
Now, SNM clan,
Mm.
that particular scenario alone,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Nsuku didn't know shit about that stuff, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
We watched it, we saw it.
Yeah.
If she was close to them, she might have found out, but she doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Then let's say he now got angry
Mm.
and he stood up and started shouting at Mshini.
Mhm.
What is going to be the narrative?
Yeah.
Please, let's start there. What is going to be the aftermath of him showing that he's real by shouting and trying to pout on someone that offended him? Don't forget, it was Mshini that offended him, right? And he stood up and he walked away because he was so mad that he might be able to assume the whole room.
Yeah.
But he left, went under the duvet and Baba almost suffocated. So you tell me that he will come out and be shouting at him, she need to show that he's real.
Mhm.
And you call him a woman beater, a woman this, a woman that, a this and a that one, right?
Yeah.
And he decided to like arrange himself that particular way and contain whatever he was feeling.
Yeah.
You didn't see that. You saw Uyanda's own, and to you felt like he was real. Fine, there's no problem. But at this point, it's boring.
There's a thin line.
It's boring.
There's a thin line between
It's boring.
control and fakery. There's a very thin line. You understand? There's a thin line when you're actually feeling how you're supposed to feel and you control how you're supposed to feel. You put yourself in check. Now, there's still a thin line, when you are feeling how you are supposed to feel, you know what you're capable of and how vulnerable you can be sometimes, but you just give this facade that that's not who you are.
It doesn't
that
even
is fakery.
In the grand scheme of this, it doesn't even matter.
You understand, right?
At the end of the day, control matters more.
That's why I said you never can see when there is control. You already have, more power in terms of how you want to put yourself in check. Now, there's now when you are supposed to feel how you are supposed to feel. And that's where still control still comes in. But at the same time, they're the ones that actually pretend that they're not this person and come out to be who they are not. You understand, right? Like I said, some people, they actually glorify fakery. You can come out and just be fake and pretend to be who you are not. At the end of the day, you end up winning the show. There are people that come out that are super real about who they are. They don't fake anything. But at the same time, they still get dragged. They still get, pulled down and stuff like that, right? So at the end of the day now, for Nsuku now, like I said, to her, she believed, right, that because she experienced Uyanda, he is the real one. But like I said, not because of who you experience, because you are close with, or not because of the people you see that are very vulnerable, it doesn't mean at the end of the day they are real. You understand, right? The ones still, right, that even if they try to fake, their emotions or their reactions or whatever, they know that they are quite, sad or angry about certain stuff, but they tend to hide it. It doesn't mean they are not real. You understand, right? Just that, some people just want to be in check. Some people want to be in total control. They want to comport. They don't want to do one or two things, right? They apply, how did they call them? Decorum. You understand, right? But at the same time, for her, that's what she believes, right? That Uyanda, did whatever, he is who he is in terms of the Umlilo stuff. So in terms of the whole thing, in terms of Umlilo, I mean, come on, did we ever
dispute the fact that he was the king of Umlilo?
Nah, that wasn't disputed, understand, right?
But out of the equation,
I'm
talking about winning of the show and the explanation.
Yeah, winning of the show.
Explanation didn't make sense to me in a way because anyways, why am I even talking? It's subjective, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's quite subjective, right? But
no need for over talking.
They're just chopping the bait for that. But all I know is that at the end of the day, having good standards and things in terms of you, keeping yourself in check and having good morals and just day, you free with yourself, whatever, But at the same time, just know that people still know what to actually go for, right? Because at the end of the day, I was even surprised that so people actually people that are just maybe quiet or whatever. I thought people wanted Umlilo stuff like that. I say, while I don't finish. So I mean, it
people
just
feel like Umlilo regardless.
Yeah.
But I tell you, sometimes people that give Umlilo are like the scapegoats.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are the scapegoats of the season. They end up not winning this show.
Exactly. Sipali was one of them. Streets was one of them. I mean, it's just so crazy, right? But it is what it is. So let us know what you feel about that. Well, aside that, it's quite shocking. It seems as though Liema and Jareed are back again. And it's really caused a whole stir on the timeline, right? It's really crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it started off with Jareed and Liema, sitting on the timeline together. You could see Liema's leg on the guy's chest.
Jareed posted it.
You understand, right? You see Liema and himself in the red car, actually kissing. You can see one or two things, just all mushy together. That came as a shock to people.
Yeah.
Like, what is really happening? All this and that, right? And that still affected certain stuff that Sweet and Ashley's fans as a ship. They all became so, most of them, some of them, they became so worked up, right? They started tagging Ashley. They started tagging Sweet Guluva. They come and see when. Are you not seeing this? This is why we didn't want this, right? We don't want any privacy, right? Give us what to work with.
Competition.
Give us what to work with. And they started dragging Liema and is it because of Sweet Guluva? I started dragging is it because Sweet Guluva and Ashley, that is why you guys came out with your relationship?
Disgusting. You guys are disgusting to say that. Very
And I
disgusting.
said, really? Like I said, you guys live in the now. You all want to live in the now, right? Next year, if Sweet Guluva and Ashley are together, another person from another ship from Nigeria, they say, is it because of when and where to? That Sweet Guluva, you came out with your relationship last. I thought you said wanted to be private.
Is it because of Lukuzana and Chakalaka? Nonsense.
Listen, they don't say. If Sweet Guluva and Ashley were to come out with a relationship, let's say next year, and that same next year, we have another big champ, another big sheep, then we drag them, why is it now you're coming out with a relationship? I thought you wanted to be private.
Yes.
So at the same time, like, it's just so crazy.
No worry.
You're going to set up for yourself, right? So whatever that was happening now, when the video came out, like, this is crazy now. Wow, I see, this is really crazy, right? All of a sudden, when I saw another video again, like it's more like a video came out, another one came to counter that video to knock it off.
Yeah,
only for it to be one of
Liema's friends, or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe in their friendship, the person thought they were in a relationship. Maybe. Do you get? But where Liema is like, this person is my friend, and maybe they've not been talking since. And Jareed posted that stuff, and he posted his own with Liema. Like, okay, what is this thing giving now? It's giving they're in a relationship, because if you watch the video, it looked like they were, together, together. So Liema was shocked, like, what's going on here? Even me, I was like, is Liema dating two people? Like, what's going on? Do you understand? So a lot of people were like saying things. Even the guy said at a point that, thank you, Jareed, for clearing things up.
But that's so funny. I mean, guys, come on now. That's when I saw that I was quite ashamed on that guy's behalf.
Yeah.
I mean, how wouldn't you know for a fact that, you just assume that you guys are just dating? How does that even work? Because at the end of the day, Jareed posted this picture, video, whatever, and thank you, Jareed, for clearing the air. So you never knew where you stood. You never knew what was really going on.
So it's Liema that will ask you
out. It's just based on this assumptions. I mean, come on. We keep saying this thing, right? You want to go out with someone, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to please, what are we? What are we? So you don't end up wasting your time.
Unless you're not interested in the person, then no problem.
Yeah. But at the same time, please, if you're not interested in that person, actually, I just been with the person for a very long time, and the person thinks, you're going to do one of those things. I mean, please. I mean, you don't allow course follow you. You understand, right? Because
I'm talking about like a guy, not that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you guys are like doing friendship, right? And in your mind, you want it to go further,
you
right?
Just said that's when you don't mind.
Yes, and I will explain why I said that.
Explain, please.
If you're in a friendship with someone, right? And in your mind, you don't want to be in a relationship with that person. You guys are in the friendship stage. There is no need to ask what are we. Now the person go ask the person, what are we doing? So if the person doesn't ask what are we doing, then I assume that we are just friends. And I'm not going to kiss you or do whatever with you because I know that I'm your friend. So I'll go ahead and even date another person and be in a relationship with another person. If you not eventually not come and tell me, why are you having a boyfriend? Did you ever for one day tell me that you love me or you are interested or something? So I don't care.
Assumptions kill.
Yes, it does. That's what I'm saying. So don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah,
don't.
You assuming is very dangerous, right? So for me, I believe like, this is the point. Yeah, this is it. So you understand,
you're not dumb. You should know that you guys are friends.
Nah. Mari, you can't say people are not done. That's why I said I was actually showing those guys behalf, because at the end of the day, now people still believe that one or two things are actually happening.
That's what I'm saying. So the guy was waiting for Liema to ask him.
So that's why I said, I was actually at least, you should have actually
exactly
asked or know what was really happening. Unless you don't just stay there.
Unless they were doing things they were not supposed to be doing.
So that one self-CD.
So that one now scattered his brain. Unless they were doing the in total things.
You understand, right? Some people feel that it's not really possible where you go deal with your bestie. You go that play. I don't say that this stuff now. Bestie stuff.
No, it's not all of them.
Not all of them. I mean, it happens. Please, let's not. Don't lie to yourself. It happens, right? It is what it is.
So people used to in your bestie friendship.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, in all this now, they were dragging, put me in the whole situation, right?
Yeah.
How she's going to feel about this. Even I myself, I was telling her, I'd be like, my general go to talk, say, what the hell is this?
What the hell is this?
What the hell is it, right?
What the fuck?
right?
Yeah.
Don't antagonize me, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, there was a statement about this. Another person said, I see some useless Liema FCAK, the boys mine inserting Mpumi in their fave scamming ship, scamming ship, whatever content. They believe that, this is a scam ship.
Yeah.
As how they believe that, Z and
Yeah.
wasn't a scenario, right? It's a scam ship, right? That probably they need something from shippers. And I'll say this again, from anyone that's seen that Jareed and Liema's video, shippers over to you do the needful, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. And of course, the person for the said, instead of you to hype your nonsense in peace, you want to look for trouble. Meanwhile, my babe is on TikTok giving us mainstream premium content. So put me send on our papa.
See.
Well.
If they are dragging Mpumi, you guys are shameless as fuck.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, do you know why?
Why?
We watch what we watch on the show.
Yeah.
Very funny for me to see Liema and Jareed together.
Yeah.
Very funny something. But I know that people change and, they grow, they mature, they learn new things and they turn around. I understand that. But please, if you guys are going to be dragging Mpumi because of this ship, I laugh.
What are you talking about?
I laugh.
That for me, that's very valid. For me, that is valid.
Valid in what
That's
way?
valid because...
Valid in what? It's just they are the same.
Look at what you just said.
They are the same.
Listen, look at what you just said. Calm down. Look at what you just said. You said, Liema and Jareed. You were shocked about it. You couldn't believe it, right? That's because of what you saw in the house.
Yes.
Now look at Mpumi, the whole situation when she was still chicken her head, when the two were very much together. You were there. You saw else. You saw Mpumi being there. Whatever she did, I tried sabotage stuff. Tried be with Jareed. Even telling the guy, you have a wandering eyes. Kissing the guy when they're doing nonsense. In bed when Liema was sleeping. Sometimes she pretends to sleep whereas she's not sleeping. Right now, that's alone, her being there now, the question. Definitely when Jareed and Liema are together, definitely they don't involve Mpumi.
So why they involving Mpumi?
So why the hell? So why the hell are you not talking about?
The relationship was trash.
Please.
No, it was trash. So what I'm asking myself, are you involving Mpumi because it's brand new?
Madam, you just simply said that Liema, you couldn't believe that these two came back together because of the rubbish that they did. That was because you saw what happened in the house. So you cannot exclude Mpumi being in that same equation.
No.
So for me, it's valid. If I'm drag Mpumi about those situations,
no problem, but at the same time, that is how I feel about why are they involving Mpumi when they know that what happened. Okay, you that is talking about Mpumi.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing that you watch on the show. If you didn't watch it on the show, we have an opinion.
I don't
about
understand. Mpumi no trick mouth for that matter, but she no trick mouth. She trick mouth now.
That's
so definitely, if they're dragging her tell about Mpumi, hope you are seeing this. I mean, for me, it's valid now.
It's not, to me, it's not. Because at the end of the day, the ship was actually at the end of the day trash. Jareed did what Jareed did. So if they are trying to drag Mpumi because they're trying to give bragging rights over what? That's what I'm saying, over what? Over which ship? If the ship makes sense now in my mind, I'm okay, fine. Which ship? Jareed. Please. If it's another ship, I'll say, okay, I understand. Not Jareed, please. Not Jareed.
This is very simple. When you see stuff happen in the house, whatever that has been extended in there, definitely comes out, right? And I mean, because of what Mpumi displayed in the house, right? This is the reason why they're doing what they're doing, right? She involved herself, you understand, right? So that is why they're doing that.
Because of what Jareed did, what is the essence of the fault? I'm not even involving Liema. Whatever Jareed did, that ship is not supposed to be any effing bragging rights. That's my point. So involving Mpumi is making the whole thing laughable.
It's not laughable because she involved herself. Now, as I involved in herself, it made her look stupid and have been a domino. Like I said,
the whole thing is still looking stupid to me.
No,
the whole thing.
If you're saying it's not valid, at the same time, it's more of you trying to still accept the fact that when people chip their head where they're not supposed to chip their head, it's still valid.
I'm not saying it's not valid.
No.
I'm saying what is the essence? What is the essence?
Nah, there's nothing like
behind.
There's nothing like no. You cannot say now. So why the hell are you dragging Jareed now? Why are you dragging Jareed? Why is it that ship was... No, why are you dragging Jareed? No,
I'm just
why?
saying that the ship didn't make sense.
You're contradicting yourself.
I'm not contradicting myself. I'm just saying...
Why are you dragging Jareed now?
If they are roping Mpumi in the whole process, why are they making the ship a bragging right?
That's
what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. They should focus on their ship. If they have found redemption, they should focus on their ship. It's as simple as that, and enjoy their whole shipping privilege.
This is very funny. You said that Mpumi, why they involving her now? But Madam is involving Jareed now. So pick a side now, pick a struggle.
I'm not who is struggling? Nobody's struggling.
Anyways, that's I'm glad. You've heard this, right? And I mean, they are dragging because of this, right? Like for me, I will say this again, right? It's quite funny, but yeah, just really, really, just valid, right? It is what it is. Aside that, Jareed has to like say God's timing, God's timing, right? Indeed, is the best.
Baba
As
don't
long
make-
as
he has changed.
as long as whatever happens, if you're with a girl, whatever you feel you want to be with her, you want to spend forever with her, you want to love her, you want to cherish her, fine and good. Because at the end of the day, it's the balls that, to the other side still, being with you as well. This is Jareed wanting Liema, this is Liema wanting Jareed. As long as that is happening, it's none of my business. You understand, right? I have no say, right?
Yeah.
And the way begging Jareed that please, Jareed, please do not break Lily's heart. Please, I beg you. After all these things I've done in the house, I beg you, understand, right?
I second that too.
Because at the end of the day, you can imagine if those two maybe they do that stuff outside, all of a sudden just to put me in the equation again. I don't go fear.
Oh my
right?
God.
Crazy
And
stuff,
it takes two to what?
Yeah, Tango, right? You can't guys say put me in the weapon fashion against Jareed and Liema, right? It is what it's because Liema, of course, was so pissed about that whole video that came out. She said she's dealing with a psycho. Cause why are you posting old videos? Like, what are you trying to achieve, right? It's quite weird for her.
Very.
She actually still drag the guy that she doesn't know drama, drama whatever,
I'm
stay away
literally
from me.
the
It's so
least
crazy, right? And I mean,
problematic
people like
person
saying,
you'll ever meet, but somehow
I can't do
problems
shit
always
in
kept
peace,
up
that this and
like,
that. I said, what is really good? Of course, Liema, and I said that
Leave me
you can
alone.
continue this, right?
Okay.
Continue shipping the pieces.
I'm not your friend.
Myself and Jareed are together, right? And I bet like, this is really crazy because people that I said that that some Acer girls don't know their worth. That's why men treat them like trash. So men have finished in the whole of essay that Liema went back to a boy that treated her like trash on national TV. This is nonsense to me. Well, this isn't about S or whatever. This has happened to anyone. This is just what it is, right? Whether SC, whether nothing like that. It can happen to anybody, right? There are people that actually maybe treated some type of way, whatever.
They'll
You
still
still
go
go back. They'll still go back. They'll still
It
go back.
happens until you're drained.
You understand, right? So there's nothing like SC
it.
girls don't know their worth.
No. It doesn't have anything
It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
No, it
use your
doesn't.
brain, use your head. You understand, right? It doesn't.
isn't.
Now, know they hear them. What is not a
Doesn't.
respect of nobody?
Yes.
Now, know they hear them. Sometimes two things you cannot control. A big man and someone who is what? In love. You cannot control how they think. You understand, right? It is what it is, right? But I'm asking let us what you feel about that. At the same time, congratulations to Pilile. Yeah, I think she signed a partnership with Uyanda. Amazing. Nice one. I'm super proud of those people doing amazing well. Pilile. Mandy Hagen. Amazing stuff. Anything else on the table, please?
No.
All right, so SNM Clan, it is what it is. We're running the drill. Mama, come in here. Let us know what you feel about this video. If you love this video, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And like our videos, you share with this comments. We say thank you guys. You're the very best. You guys are awesome. Always remember, never to give up. Be the best at what you do. Success is guaranteed, not optional. So, guys, peace.
Peace, yebo chakalaka.